Ron, there's controversy there about something else.
U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee called it despicable. The British Foreign Secretary condemned truly disgraceful scenes. Global outrage over video posted by Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir. Welcome to Israel, we are the landlords. Ben-Gvir taunts scores of pro-Gaza activists kneeling with their hands tied behind their backs. More than 400 were detained after trying to deliver aid to Gaza on a flotilla.
Free Palestine!
This woman was forced to the floor. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said their treatment is not in line with Israel's values. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down after Walmart's earnings report the day after a big surge for the Dow and the Nasdaq. Now let's take you back to the 1960s.
When you're out of Schlitz,
Just ask.
you're out of beer.
Well, we're soon going to be out of beer for good. Schlitz, the latest old brand to run dry.
The one-time top seller, marketed as a beer that made Milwaukee famous, with stories, for instance, about hundreds of barrels being sent to Chicago, which had no clean drinking water after the Great Chicago Fire. The beer falling out of favor in the 70s because of cost-cutting measures that changed its flavor and other quality issues, and its owner, Pabst, stopped brewing it months ago. It's given Wisconsin Brewing Company permission to brew a final 80-barrel batch this Saturday, using specifications dating back to its early days. A pre-order is available. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, the Thunder roll.
Gilgeous-Alexander on the attack, holds back, and hits.
That helped seal it late for Oklahoma City on NBC as league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 30 points to lead the defending champion Thunder past San Antonio 122-113, tying the Western Conference Finals. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday morning. It is May 21st, 2026. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also live at Radio Para Mi, the free app. And remember this 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. Producer Freddie will launch KURV, the morning news on 710 KURV, YouTube, and X, and yes, also do the Facebook Live. We got plenty of weather to talk about, so stick around. That's coming up in about 2.5 minutes. SpaceX saying they've got a 90-minute window today starting at 5:30 to launch. So they might be blaring some loud noise as a heads up that they will be launching this evening. It's scheduled to be the first launch of 2026, the 12th overall of the Starship prototype. Got a lot of rain in the region. North of us, Corpus Christi, they've seen a lot more rain than we have, and it's been impressive for us. Imagine how much more they've been getting up there. And that's good for the Corpus Christi area water supply that is in trouble.
The water supply for Corpus Christi is running low, and the city's approaching critical levels. They had expected to reach a point where demand outpaced supply sometime in early September. But thanks to recent rains, that critical emergency level's been pushed back to December. The Texas Tribune says Corpus has been patchworking temporary solutions for some time, including drilling more than a dozen wells. The city council is set to vote next month on new water curtailment plans for the city of 300,000.
Texas news. State of Texas, it needs to do a better job in managing food stamps or be prepared to pay a big fine.
State regulators are trying to cut down on errors in the food stamp program, which are currently at about 8%. Jamie Olson with the group Feeding Texas says this is not fraud. Most are clerical errors by the state.
Whereas participant errors only accounted for a third of the errors.
She says people who receive food stamps have fluctuating incomes, meaning sometimes they get the wrong amount of benefits. If the problem is not fixed, Texas faces millions of dollars in penalties from the federal government.
It's 7:07 on News Talk 710 KURV, and watch the High Court. The Supreme Court expected to continue delivering some major decisions today.
The court's about halfway through handing down rulings in some 60 cases heard this term, covering everything from the limits of presidential power to the rights of transgender athletes. Some cases still awaiting a decision include President Trump's attempt to ban birthright citizenship and whether Roundup can be sued for cancer claims over its weed killer. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And NOAA, that's the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, expected to release their official 2026 Atlantic hurricane season outlook sometime today. And because of the Super El Nino, they say that on the Atlantic side there might be less activity. Okay. Doesn't matter because we're getting rain right now. That's all we care about. We want to fill the reservoir. Time for AccuWeather, and let's get some rain totals from the lake and west of us. First, let me say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Have you heard about Martin Farm and Ranch? They're on Monte Cristo in Edinburgh. Balanced mineral nutrition for your herd. HERD. Martin Farm and Ranch. Say hi to Dougie if you stop by. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina joining us. Rain totals west of us, the lakes, Zapata County, Laredo, just upriver from them. What you got for us over the past several hours?
Let's see. Last 24 hours, Laredo picking up 8, almost 9/10, so almost an inch there, about almost 2 inches just north of them. Let's see.
Zapata County itself. I thought you sent me a report earlier on.
I did. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back down. They got, Zapata got 3 inches.
Good.
Almost 3 1/4 inches.
Solid. Yeah, that's the lake right there. Zapata County?
Yeah,
that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, just north of the lake is where the reporting station is, on the north end of the lake there.
Terrific. Yeah, that water's going into the lake. That's awesome.
So, yeah, they got 3.19 inches, so almost 3 1/4 inches the last 24 hours. And just off to the east of the lake, they got 5 1/4 inches. That's so if you triangulate from the north end of the lake and then north of Rio Grande, you'll get a spot where there was 5 1/4 inches plus over the last 24 hours.
I don't know about
even Brownsville got 3/10.
Yeah.
Harlingen got just over an inch.
We had plenty of rain in the area.
Allen got almost a half inch.
Yeah. And more in the forecast. That's
north of Edinburgh, there was an inch and a half plus.
So overnight tonight or this afternoon, what do you think? We get some more?
Yeah, again, as the day progresses into tonight, tonight as well, tomorrow, and I mean the pattern, it's just truly rinse and repeat here for probably the better part of the next week, to be honest.
Yeah, excellent. That's good to hear. Okay, so for today, so we got our trillionaire, future trillionaire neighbor Elon Musk. He's got a launch today at 5:30 p.m. our time. So what's the forecast?
It's going to give or take. It's going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's at that time of day, it'll be give or take.
Yeah, we might see some thunder shower activity.
Yeah.
Today. All right, so if it happens, it happens.
Saturday looks pretty active. Saturday into Sunday looks pretty active with not only rain, but some severe thunderstorms around. So we'll have to watch out for that. But
Freddie, the Memorial Day weekend barbecue at your place, let's just go to, I don't know, Ace's Barbecue or something like that. We'll go indoor. We won't be firing up the grill at the Cruz household this weekend. Because, plenty of rain for Memorial Day weekend. And how about the travel forecast? We should look at that, like up to Central Texas and San Antonio and Houston and Dallas. What's the travel forecast?
Yeah, Houston, showers, heavy thunderstorms today, flash flooding, damaging winds goes through tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Here it
Dallas,
is.
showers, heavy thunderstorm, late in the day, localized damaging winds, ponding in the streets tonight. Thunderstorm in parts of the area tomorrow, Saturday, couple of heavy thunderstorms. Thunderstorm Sunday. Yeah, so pretty active.
Stay home, people. Stay indoors. Don't drive into any floodwaters, especially up in San Antonio.
Yeah, please listen. Turn around, don't drown. Do not try and cross flooded out areas. Most flooding deaths occur in vehicles. So please
great advice.
Turn around. Don't think that you can cross that area. You don't know what's under there. You don't know how deep it is. Doesn't take a whole lot to float your car. Please. Your truck, whatever.
And that's especially for all of us here in the valley, you flatlanders, flat earthers, flatlanders. You guys not used to San Antonio. You go up to San Antonio, it'll flood real quick as you go up and down that hill country. All right, pal, call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Yeah, rain in the forecast. Punto. The period. That's it, man. It's on and off, on and off. Had plenty overnight. And that is the pattern, impressive pattern over the next, as he said, next week, well into the weekend. And as he just mentioned, Saturday, Sunday, even better chance for that on-off rain. That is your AccuWeather forecast. Big thank you to Dougie. And if you like all the rain, call Dougie today. Hey, Dougie. Thank you, Dougie. Love you, Dougie. Thank you. Well, you don't have to tell him you love him, but Say thank you to Dougie at Martin Farm and Ranch for all the rain. They bring us AccuWeather. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Stick around. Had a conversation earlier this morning. She's an early riser. It's okay. Lucy Waltoff with Foster Angels. They've had some recent activities of late. This month of May is a foster children or the foster system awareness month. And they had some art galleries and exhibits that went up. We're hoping that they become permanent, that they move around town. So how you can help or foster kids in the community, that's coming up at about 7:16 on the Morning News. In the meantime, let me share this with you real quick. Business note, the Texas Attorney General's office launching their own investigation into the meatpacking industry of Texas.
Attorney General Ken Paxton says he is investigating potentially anti-competitive conduct among the nation's largest meat packers. He says the 4 big companies that control over 85% of the nation's beef processing market have considerable power over both cattle producers and consumers, and he wants to know if they have used that to lower the prices they pay to ranchers while driving up prices for consumers. Paxton says anyone with complaints about potential antitrust violations can contact his office. Federal authorities have their own investigation. Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller says they are both taking the fight straight to the meatpacking cartel that has been bleeding Texas ranchers dry.
That is Stephen Pickering with that report. The time is 7:15. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Conversation with Lucy Waltoff. She's the director of the South Texas chapter, RGV chapter of Foster Angels. They had some impressive events over the past several days and hoping to share with you information on how you can help foster children in the area with art galleries. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples. That was easy.
Funny how you don't notice the little things until they get hard. Things like buttoning a shirt, cooking a simple meal. That's when I called Healthcare Unlimited for my parents years ago. HCU, Healthcare Unlimited, serving all of South Texas since 1990, the highest quality rated home care agency in the entire region. They can send a caring attendant to help with daily tasks right at home and still feels independent. If your loved one needs help at home, call Healthcare Unlimited at 956-994-9911 and mention you heard it on 710 KURV.
It's Payne Auto Group's Memorial Day Salute. 90 days, no payments on a new or pre-owned vehicle. Plus, register to win 1,000 miles of gas now through Memorial Day at all 15 Payne dealerships.
Locate to get us regardless. Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
Your station for AccuWeather, those conversations, and as we need, we break into programming to talk with AccuWeather if it gets real interesting. 710 KURV. Also, your station for Astros baseball, weeknights, weekends. Thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Our focus on family and our babies, our foster angels in the region. It's a pleasure to bring back, on behalf of Foster Angels, is RGV Director Lucy Waltoff. Lucy, welcome back. I know you had a couple of calendar events, and I want you to quickly review. Well, actually, let's start with Foster Angels, because I'm assuming too much. I think people working for a living, running around town, should know about what you do, and volunteers and good folks at Foster Angels. So tell me about the organization, its history, and then review for me the couple of calendar items that you had recently.
Well, first of all, good morning, Sergio, and thank you so much for having me back again. Foster Angels of South Texas is a nonprofit organization. We've been around for 26 years, and we provide basic needs and life-enhancing experiences for children that are placed in foster care. We have many programs under us. We have our Life Script, which takes care of our older and aged out kids. And then we also have our Heart Gallery, and that helps with post-adoption and adoption services for our kids that are up for adoption, just to name a few.
Tell me a bit more about the work that you do with kids that age out of the foster care system, how you help them connect, get employed, educated. How are you helping?
Well, we're just a kind of a small part of that. We help what we call as our life script program, and that's when the kids age out. And a lot of the kids don't ever want to stay in the system. They don't want to be in extended care, so they go out on their own. And unfortunately, they end up homeless. We are really blessed with the city of McAllen that has worked with us and some community leaders that have put together a voucher, a housing voucher. And so these kids, if they've been placed in foster care, get this housing voucher and are able to have an apartment, which is great, but they have an apartment, but nothing inside of it. So that's where we come in our community. We come in, we furnish it, we try to get them beds, a television, kitchen appliances. Sandra Martinez is really great about that. She has her own thrift store that's just for our foster kids. She collects items for them. So when it comes to the aged out kids, it takes a village, Sergio. It really does.
I'm glad you mentioned Sister Sandra. What a big heart she has. How did you get started with Foster Angels? How'd you come across them, get involved?
So, Sergio, it's kind of a crazy story. I've never been in social work, didn't really have any history with it. And when COVID started, I was approached by a really good friend who knew of this organization from Corpus and said, Lucy, they need a director here in the Valley. I think this would be perfect for you. Right off the bat, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I would want to take all the kids underneath my home. But I prayed about it, and I did I guess you could call a phone call or interview with the executive director and the board president at the time. And she immediately, said, okay, you're hired. And I said, well, I didn't even know that was really an interview, but I took it on, and it was COVID and everything, was shut down. And I said, do you still need me? And they said, absolutely. We need you more than ever because we need boots on the ground, because these kids aren't going to school. They're not getting reported. They're at home, and that's not really where you want to be if these kids are not being fed or abused or neglected. And so anyways, that's kind of where I started.
Lucy Waltoff is the RGV director of Foster Angels. Yes, they work with foster kids in our region. Recently had a couple of events I want to go back, shine a light on. So tell me about the Heart Galleries, these couple of events, and what came of that, and maybe provides an opportunity for local businesses or, churches, everybody else to get involved. So tell me about those events.
So first of all, last week we had our 5th annual Foster Angels of South Texas Luncheon. Quan Cosby came down. He played for University of Texas. He's a big star. He has lived experience. He was pretty much on the side of the road with a trash bag with his family and his brothers, and was fortunate enough to get adopted later in life. And now look at him. If you don't know him, look him up. He's got a great story. He came down and told his story, which was fabulous. We had a lot of sponsors and a lot of people there that were moved in tears. And then we also honor 3 of our angel honorees. They're our foster kids. That's what it's about. We hear their stories, and their promises of becoming, either a doctor or a welding student. So it was really neat to honor them, and that's what our luncheon's really about. Then yesterday, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, tell me the name again before I forget. The young man that you featured last week.
Quan Cosby. He played for University of Texas, and he won the national championship game.
Right. And
wide receiver.
Tell me that you recorded this and put it on YouTube so we can link back to it and share it.
You know what? I don't think we did, but yeah, like I said, he was amazing, very inspirational.
Yeah, we can find his story online now. I'll make sure to find that as well. So yesterday you had another event. Tell me about that.
So we did, Sergio. We had a great event yesterday with the city of McAllen. One of our many programs that Foster Angels has is our Heart Gallery. This Heart Gallery was brought on by Cecilia Abbott, our First Lady of Texas. She initiated this program, and it's all throughout Texas. And Region 11 Foster Angels was fortunate enough to pick this one up. And these are children that are older, 14 years and older. They might have a mental or a disability, or their large sibling group. So what we consider that in the system is it's harder for them to get adopted. And in the past, they're usually forgotten about. They're put in, a folder and into a drawer and never really thought about again. Well, the First Lady wanted to make sure that these kids do not get forgotten. And so she started this heart gallery. You can, look throughout the valley. There's some at some dealerships. Bird Ogden has some. We now just partnered up with the city of McAllen. There's a permanent heart gallery at the library, and it's beautiful and it's great. And then we're also going to have a permanent heart gallery at the McAllen Airport. And these are just kids' faces, and they have a barcode, and you get to know their story and their history. And then if you're interested, you can also there's also an apply where you have to apply to get more information. And then they'll do a little background check on yourself just to make sure no issues. But again, it's just to get these kids' faces and names out in the public when usually they're forgotten about, and hopefully to find their forever family.
Lucy Woltoff, RGV Director, Foster Angels. These heart galleries, like we hear the term heart gallery closer to Christmas every year during adoption month, right? That's when they, I guess the state offices that help with that, they go out and do heart galleries. This is for foster kids as well. You were saying that the month of May is Foster Care Awareness Month, right? That's why we're seeing these heart galleries pop up. Can anyone else participate with these heart galleries and put up permanent displays or move them around, or what do you suggest?
Absolutely. And that's the whole point of this, is it's not just for Adoption Month or not just for Foster Care Awareness Month. This is all year round. I mentioned earlier, if you're a business and you want to have a permanent heart gallery, you can. You don't have to have the big 8x10 posters. We have different ways you can present it in your office and your business. Even at events, we'll come and we'll put it up, a display there for you to look at some of our children and some of our youth. It can be temporary, it can be permanent, but it is all year round. And that's just what we want to do, is just continue to get these kids' names out there so that one day that they can find their forever family.
How many kids do we have in the foster care system, either in the Valley or in this region that you oversee, which is all of Deep South Texas, from Corpus and down here? What can you tell me?
So that's a great question. We actually have over 500 kids placed right here in the Rio Grande Valley. Our Foster Angels South Texas covers Region 11, 19 counties. I call that from Corpus to Brownsville to Laredo. And out of all those 19 counties, the Rio Grande Valley has the highest amount of kids placed in foster care.
Region 11 would be based on what, the Health and Human Services or Child Protective Services regions, how they're cut up in the state? Is that what it is? Region 11?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, anything else you want folks to know on how they can get involved? I know that, and we were talking, you mentioned this off air, and yeah, we've seen our First Lady, Melania Trump. This is something that's near dear to her heart. The First Lady of Texas, Ceci Abbott, she wants this as well. But we hear stories every now and then and impassioned pleas by some. I don't know if they're being drowned out. But look, I would hope that this is the improvement of the foster care system in Texas. I hope is a priority for lawmakers next session. What do you see? What do you hear on the front lines of helping these foster kids and families?
Sergey, I think that's a great thing to point out. So it is being talked about, and I love it. And I feel like it's a lot talked about during the month of May for Foster Care Awareness Month, but I want to continue to talk about them throughout the year. I don't think they just want to talk about, during the month. Obviously the legislation, they're working really hard to make sure that our foster care kids are taken care of. They're already, if they've been placed in foster care, they get to go to a state school free. But the school comes with, school supplies and books, and that's where Foster Angels comes in. We come in and help them pay for the books. they're over $200. These kids don't know that. They also need this a support system. Only 2% of kids, less than 2% kids actually graduate from college that were placed in foster care. So again, there's just a lot of support, a lot of gaps that need to be filled. And I know that our organization's working really closely to make sure that these kids become successful, whatever that is, and to make sure that they have a place to stay, and they feel want and needed. And, I've talked to a couple of our aged out kids, and they said, Miss, I've been in 11 homes, and nothing, nothing seems to ever be positive. But the one thing I know is that Foster Angels of South Texas will always be there if I ever need anything. We're helping match $3,000 to help these kids get a car, so they can get a job. So again, our organization, Foster Angels South Texas, is just trying to fill in the gap to make sure these kids can become successful.
Foster Angels South Texas. Do a search for those words. I suspect you got a website and social media platform, right? Social, the Foster Angels South Texas. Any other info on how the folks can reach you, maybe volunteer or help you out, cut your check, or how do folks find you? Any other info?
So go to our website, www.fosterangels.org. There's always a place to donate. We're always looking for donate. Follow us on social media. There's sometimes that we have a special request that if the community would love to help. I know we've had very successful outcomes with that. But please follow us, reach out if you have any questions. My contact's on the website. And thank you, Sergio, so much. I really appreciate being here this morning.
Lucy, thank you for joining us early in the morning. And you call anytime. I know you got calendar events, fundraisers, things like that. We'd love to get the word out. Thank you, Lucy.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
With Foster Angels here in South Texas, RGV. One of the drives that Lucy told me about off air towards the end, they got a shoe drive. It starts in June. New shoes, brand new shoes for Wetcoast for the kids, all sizes, any size for kids. Shoe drive that starts in June for Foster Angels of South Texas. Yeah, make sure the kids, when they go back to school, they got new shoes. This is the morning news on News Talk 710 KURV on your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports up next. The blessed rain, heavy rain, water's heavy. Reminder that you need to check the commercial roofing systems that you have. You can do so for free. Expert advice, expert eyes looking at your commercial roofing system at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Check out the website and take a look at the full menu of all these for South Texas, sometimes new services and products available. The membrane waterproofing, some of the joint sealants, the water the repellents that they have, the blasting services, damp proofing. ChamberlainLTD.com is waiting for your call. I'll give you the number that you can text. You can call here in just a little bit and set up an appointment for a free expert, truly expert inspection of your commercial roofing system. And with rain in the forecast and with the storm season around the corner, you need to be ready. Water is heavy. Water will find a way. With gravity and water, it will find a way to worm its way and find its way through your commercial roofing system and down at you. You need to prevent that to make sure you don't lose money. You got to replace computers, replace work, replace business lost, and yeah, you don't want that. Call Chamberlain, expert assessment inspection for free of your commercial roofing system, waiting for you at 956-655-6178.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new C300 sedan. Get yours for only just $579 a month for 24 months. Experience a feeling only 140 years of innovation can deliver. The choice is simple at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership, a true triumph of luxury. Now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Our call letters, KURV. Our frequency, 710 AM. Our specialty, news and talk. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The San Antonio Spurs gave their all but fell short in Game 2 against Oklahoma City last night. Final score 122-113. Both teams had strong starts as the first quarter ended tied at 31, but the Thunder began to take over in the second, outscoring the quarter by 11. The Spurs were able to dig into the lead, however, in the third quarter, going into the fourth down by just 8, and a three-pointer from Harrison Barnes would cut the lead down to 2 with 9 minutes left. But that's as close as it would get as OKC ties the series at 1 apiece. The series now moves to the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Tip-off set for 7:30 Friday night. The Texas Rangers found their offense again up in the Rocky Mountains, but it took until the 9th inning to take a strong lead. The Rockies struck first with an RBI single in the opening frame, but Texas fought back with the long ball in the 4th for a 3-1 lead. Colorado didn't hesitate to strike back in the 5th with a pair of RBI singles on top of a bases-loaded walk to take the lead again 4-3. Then hope seemed lost in the 9th until Josh Young got the lead with this swing.
The pitch, hit, past the shortstop, Tovar, and out into left. Foscue scores. Osuna, a big turnaround third. For Young, it's an RBI single, and the Rangers lead 5-4.
Rangers get today off before facing the Angels in Anaheim Friday at 8:40. The Houston Astros failed to take their rubber match in Minnesota as the Twins took Game 3 4-1. Next up, the Astros get today off before staying on the road in Chicago against the Cubs. First pitch Friday at 1:20. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Jet Nelson.
AccuWeather for today: rain, more thunderstorms sometime later today. Freddie and I were looking at it. Look, if you do the 710 KURV YouTube and Facebook and X live, you'll see Freddie. He puts the radar on the screen, and man, we were looking at a nasty big old blob of probably hail and rain, and just south of Cameron County and Brownsville, headed towards Starbase. And as it got closer, it went poof. It finally dumped all its energy south of Matamoros. My goodness. So that's the scenario. Continued rain train on and off. 3+ inches of rain at the lake. We can report to you that the rain gauge, which is on the northeastern side of the lake, 3+ inches at the lake. Laredo got some good rain as well, so that's going to inflow into the lake as well. Highs today should be upper 80s thanks to the cloud cover and the rain. And rain in the forecast at least the next 5+ days. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. 1 hour at B&M and about 30 minutes at Gateway and 10 to 15 at Veterans. And if you're headed back to the McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh area, Hidalgo Bridge is busy at 45 minutes, the other two at about 10 minutes. Thank you for waking up with Newstalk 710 KURV, business news, and a check of your money. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom prints, balloons, and more. Staples. That was easy.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bert Ogden Infiniti in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinitis available now. Drive your own 2026 Infiniti QX60 and save with an amazing 0% APR for 60 months. And all Infinitis come available with the Infiniti Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bert Ogden Infiniti on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinitis online at bertogdeninfinity.com.
Don't miss the All-Star Card Show at the McAllen Convention Center this Saturday and Sunday. Meet 3 Dallas Cowboys plus WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana. Shop tons of sports and Pokemon cards and collectibles. $10 at the door, $5 for kids. More info at allstarcardshow.com.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't matter. If you need a printer or copier, Total Imaging Solutions has the right printer for you. You get the printer for a simple monthly fee and copies, just a penny or less a page. No ink or toner charges. No surprise service fees, just clear, honest pricing. And if your old printer's slowing you down, we'll trade it out and level you up. Whether you print just a couple of copies a day or need the next New York Times press, we can help. Plus, if anything ever breaks, our team will have you up and running in under 4 hours. Easy printing, fast service, real savings. That's the penny or less revolution. Call 956-664-2113 or visit copiesforapenny.com. That's copiesforapenny.com. Total Imaging Solutions, helping your business one penny at a time.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Japan's exports climbed 14.8% in April, the fastest pace since January, and solidly beating expectations on a surge in semiconductor shipments. The figure was sharply higher than the 9.3% expected from Reuters. Government data said imports increased 9.7% year over year versus an expected 8.3% rise. Anthropic is on track to generate $10.9 billion in revenue during the second quarter. CNBC reports that if Anthropic hits that target, the company will post its first profitable quarter. Anthropic generated $4.8 billion in revenue during the first quarter. Intuit, the parent company of TurboTax, Credit Karma, and QuickBooks, has cut roughly 17% of its workforce. But CEO Susan Goodarzi said the layoffs were designed to streamline operations and improve execution rather than replace workers with artificial intelligence. Goodarzi said on CNBC that, quote, none of it had to do with AI. Futures are down this morning as oil prices increase. That's Your Money Now.
Number of folks in Texas receiving food stamps, that is down 14% compared to the same time last year. And President Trump is requiring all banks to closely examine citizenship status of customers.
The president signed an executive order this week that directs the Treasury Department to issue formal advisories to financial institutions outlining red flags to watch for. Those red flags include payroll tax evasion, attempts to conceal identity, the strategic use of unregistered money services, or third-party payment platforms. The order stopped short of requiring banks to collect citizenship information, but it comes as the Trump administration works to uphold his campaign promise to crack down on those living in the country illegally. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Your AccuWeather forecast on 710 KURV. Showers, thunder showers will persist. Will stay in the forecast on and off. I expect those later in the day and overnight as well. That is the scenario. And AccuWeather says Saturday, Sunday should be very active as well. So going the next 5+ days, on and off, rain, thunder shower, inflows coming in from Mexico. So look to the southwest, see what comes up from Mexico. This is the Valley's Morning News for a Thursday. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mí, the free app.
When it comes to livestock fencing, the folks at Martin Farm and Ranch believe that if you do it right, then you only do it once, which means by utilizing high-quality materials like Stay Tough fence products and Martin's expertise in fence building, you'll get exactly what you need to keep them in or keep them out. High-tensile wire like Stay Tough allows you to build your fence using less materials and labor. So for your next fence project,
come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
Every year, nearly 8,000 pets come through the doors of Palm Valley Animal Society. Animals who need safety, care, and a second chance. At PVAS, we're committed to giving every dog and cat the compassion they deserve, from life-saving medical care to loving new homes. But we can't do it alone. Your support helps us protect the most vulnerable animals in the Rio Grande Valley and build a more humane community for all. Visit pvastx.org or our social media to adopt, donate, or get involved today. Together, we save lives.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate, like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or biglou.com.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710, KURV, and KURV.com.
The pulse of the 956, News Talk 710, KURV. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Man, he's busy today. Well, normally he just sits down and repeats the forecast. Now he's got rain totals and watching rain gauges, and we got rain and thunder showers in the forecast. On and off, at least for the next 5+ days. Wow. We got rain totals for you and all that. So join us on the morning news for conversations with AccuWeather. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump says he's willing to give diplomacy more time with Iran, but warns that things could escalate quickly if they don't get the right deal.
Iran's foreign ministry says they are reviewing a new U.S. proposal. This comes as Pakistan's interior minister made a last-minute trip to the Iranian capital of Tehran for talks aimed at moving a possible agreement forward.
Fox's Trey Yang's federal prosecutors announcing charges against former Cuban President Raul Castro in the 1996 downing of civilian planes operated by Miami-based exiles. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Today, we are announcing an indictment charging Raul Castro and several others with conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals.
Castro was Cuba's defense minister at the time. America's listening to Fox News.
If the weather cooperates, SpaceX might be launching this afternoon. They say they have a 90-minute window that starts at 5:30 p.m. Just watch the radar and see what happens with the rain. SpaceX saying this go around, they will be providing a loud noise, some type of heads up that they're about to launch. 90-minute window starts at 5:30 p.m. This will be the first launch, should be the first launch of 2026 and the 12th overall of the Starship prototype. The Texas Attorney General's office has launched an investigation into tech corporation Meta and their AI glasses over security concerns.
The concerns include unlawful recordings, illegal tracking, or the unauthorized collection of data. Paxton said in a statement that reports have surfaced that individuals at Meta's subcontractor, Sama, located in Kenya, access consumers' private information despite Meta's privacy restrictions, and that there are claims that they have access to video material of users' private moments, like bathroom visits. Paxton's also concerned by reports that Meta has plans to add facial recognition technology to the glasses.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Speaking of online technology and privacy concerns, check this out from Florida. A man from Florida says that a Lyft driver, and tried to defraud him using AI-altered images.
The man says he received a damage charge from the company for $75. The fee was accompanied by a photo that showed a mess of spilled fries and drinks in the back seat of the vehicle as proof. The man's daughters, who were passengers during the recent trip, insisted they didn't have food in the car and pointed out a logo for Google Gemini in the corner of the image, which tipped them off that it was AI generated. Lyft released a statement saying they offered the riders reimbursement, apologized, and addressed the matter with the driver. I'm Michael Kastner.
That wouldn't be me, Freddie. You know, why? So I eat everything, including the fries that hit the seats. I eat everything, right? And a college degree is no longer the only path to a lucrative career.
Challenger, Gray & Christmas, one of the world's largest recruiting firms, says skilled trade workers have seen a 30% wage bump in the last few years. Electricians, plumbers, and others who become masters in their skill areas can earn more than $100,000 a year, and many work while they are learning their trade. That means they enter the workforce with much less debt than many college graduates. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Producer Freddie's feeling generous right now. Want to say thank you to our friend Ramsey Ramirez. This weekend, you want to stay indoor, and you should. Like, this is a great indoor activity. Ramsey Ramirez, Mr. South Texas Comic-Con himself. He's presenting the All-Star Card Show at the McAllen Convention Center. So stay indoors, nice and dry. Take a look at all sorts of wonderful collectibles and vendors as well. On Saturday, meet 3 Dallas Cowboys and also WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana. Now, Ramsey has given us a few tickets to give away for Sunday. Sunday only, okay? Would you like a pair of tickets to the All-Star Card Show on Sunday at the McAllen Convention Center? Take the kids with you, right? So get a pair of tickets. You got to call our WhatsApp line and ask for them. Tell, hey, Producer Freddie. Text, right? Yeah, thank you, Freddie. Text a request. Don't call. Text the request to the 710 KURV WhatsApp number for a couple of tickets to this weekend's All-Star Card Show, collectible show at the McAllen Convention Center. Here's the number, 956-862-2482. Ask Producer Freddie for a couple of tickets to the All-Star Card Show at the McAllen Convention Center on Sunday. These tickets are for Sunday only. 956-862-2482. 956-862-2482. First come, first serve.
Experience everything Bart Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer. Service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with bold design and set the standard with comfort and performance in a new 2026 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Lease one now for just $579. That's right, just $579 per month. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move, set yourself apart, and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at BartOgdenCadillac.com or come in today at Bart Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh, where legends are made. Dale gas!
My name is Sergio Sanchez. I am a Republican candidate for House District 41. I was honored to receive the endorsement of the South Texas Conservatives. They have endorsed Ken Paxton. I was the only local candidate to receive this endorsement, fighting to lower taxes and to stop woke agendas, pushing transgenderism, indoctrination of our children. And as President Trump endorsed Ken Paxton, I'm honored to be mentioned in the same sentence, recognized as the only true conservative for House District 41. I've made a career of sending people to prison for Medicaid fraud. The appraisal districts need to be reined in. I have a plan that's in line with the governor's plan to slash what the appraisal districts can do. My name is Sergio Sanchez. I'm asking for your vote. Today is day 4 of early voting, second to last day of early voting. I'm the only candidate that 100% opposed the radical school bonds in McAllen and Sherryland. Despite that red cap, my opponent was silent, ineffective on the issue of the bond. It's time to support the true conservative in the region, and that's me. This ad paid for